Mm, let's go live. Hey, what you gonna do? Oh no. Oh, sorry. We are live, guys. We are live. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear in the chat. Hold on, let me just make sure I have all my things open, y'all. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live there right now. We're also live behind the scenes on TikTok. We are live on Twitch and Twitter. And this is our weekly recap. We're already mid-season of the SWV and Xscape reality show, Queens of R&B. And that's how we will be referring to it throughout this recap. But as always, let me know where you're watching from. Don't forget to like the video. And if you're part of the replay crew, please do the same. Let us know your thoughts on the news that's coming off of this new reality show with SWV and Xscape. I know there's a lot of conversation on social media. Bravo is calling this their #1 show right now for this year. And if you see, because Bravo's been uploading the episodes on their YouTube channel, those episodes are getting the views. Okay? Our recaps are getting the views. We are being cited and sourced on Speak On It. Okay? And here y'all go again. Oh, here he go. He's another one paid by Candy. Oh, but wait. Oh, but wait. Here's the thing. I saw Don Juan at BravoCon. He was asking me what side of the fence I was on this week. You know what? Because here's the thing, and if you know me and you love me, that's what you love about me. One week I can love you, next week I'm not gonna hate you, but I'm gonna, if there's news to be reported on, okay, shout out to Candy. Here, I'm paid by Candy this week, y'all. Shout out to Candy. OLG got an A rating. But wait. But wait. We've talked about it when it didn't get an A rating. So if there's tea about Candy, and there is, and I'm going to do a separate, because I know a lot of you want to talk about and bring up what Tamar is saying on Watch What Happens Live and now on her social media. I have to do a separate video. I have to do a separate video because that is a lot to unpack, a lot for me to kind of gather my thoughts, because I've done videos talking about their long-standing beef. So I do want to make sure I give you all the things, okay? All right? But before we do any of that, let's get these notifications out. Be sure to like the video. We're almost at 250,000 subscribers.
I am the 5th member. How about that?
Oh, it's about to go down. We have a lot to unpack for this SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B reality show. Like the video. Let's get those likes up. Let's get 1,000 people in the building, and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to take callers. But then I also have more videos to do. I got updates to give you guys on other people, so I can't be here forever. Forever. Okay, let's get into a countdown, and we will get into this show. All right. Yes, y'all.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back, guys, to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Understand, we don't just talk about reality TV or reality TV related news. We talk about that and of course your pop culture news. And I got a couple of stories later on that we have to talk about, but stay tuned for that after this live. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe and turn your notification on. Speaking of notifications, don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. I am going to be uploading the Vanderpump Rules podcast that I did with Grace Report this week. I promise. I'm doing everything, y'all. And don't forget to check out the Lelee podcast that we did for the Kempire Radio podcast, Opinionated with Lelee. We had a really great conversation. And as I said before, the Kempire Radio podcast is a different place with different conversations happening. So Lelee and I had a really great conversation about mental health, about RHOP, about Real Housewives of Miami. It was a mix of conversation and religion. Oh, we got into it. So be sure to check that out on the Kempire Radio podcast. And don't forget to rate the Kempire Radio podcast 5 stars, nothing less than 5 stars, and tell us what you love about us. Okay, thanks. All right. And shout out to Grace Report and Lelee. All right. Where do I begin? Oh, maybe I should open my notes, and that's where we will begin. Oh, my goodness. All right. So much to unpack with this episode. Okay. Did you guys do your taxes? Look, just a reminder, your taxes are almost due, okay? You have a month, less than a month, all right? Shout out to anyone celebrating a birthday. Shout out to our friends and family in the UK that were celebrating Mother's Day yesterday. Happy belated Mother's Day in the UK. Mother's Day here will be in the US in May. All right, but happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers in the UK and everyone celebrating. And those of you that are here in the United States but are from the UK. So shout out to all of you. All right, and shout out to everyone that's watching from around the country. We appreciate you guys being here. So let's get into this. So this episode is only episode 3, and it is a hot topic on Bravo on Watch What Happens Live. It's a hot topic, okay? So this episode is called Dis-Chord, all right? And a lot of you have been asking for more episodes from this season, and they could have made more episodes, but this is sort of like a mid-season filler show, even though it's doing quite well. But this is sort of kind of, because let's be honest, Sunday nights at Bravo are Black Night. Come on. Or person of color. Shout out to our friends over at Family Karma. Come on. So I wonder what's going to happen after this show ends. Does that mean Real Housewives of Atlanta is coming soon, or is there going to be another show that they're going to add in there? I'm wondering, because Atlanta's done. I know they're filming a little bit just to pick up the whole drama between Drew and Ralph. So I'm wondering when we're going to get that. All right. So back to this. So SWV and Xscape. I know you all have opinions about who should be the opener, who should be a headliner. We are going to get there. We're going to get there. But we get these little interesting little scenes. I love this because we have a full cast and we're getting to see everyone's story. So we get Tiny at the Black House. I mean, the Black House, when you look at it, I was like, okay, I don't know if it could be my house, but then I see them playing out on the front. And I'm like, look at the marble floors. It's not cheap, okay? It may not be what our taste, but it's definitely not cheap. And it's one of her 5 houses, all right? Okay. Okay. All right. And then Ace, shout out to Ace. Ace it's a Candy's son. He has now 18,000 subscribers on YouTube. Honestly thought he would have had more. I was surprised that it was that. I mean, it's not low, but I thought he would have had more because I heard he was killing it on YouTube. And that is killing it, but you know what I'm saying? I really thought he had a lot more than that. All right. Hold on, y'all. Let me save these super chats. Hold on. Ooh. I'm getting used to, I have a new mouse, so I'm getting used to, hold on, let me do it like this because all right, there we go. And I'm glad I slowed down the chat so I could catch that. All right. So congrats to Ace. Regardless, that's still a huge achievement. And Candy said on her speak on it last night, if you have a kid, have your kid subscribe. Okay. Don't you, I mean, technically you're subscribing for your kid, but go support Ace. Okay. All right. Moving on. Okay. They were really going to think I'm paid by Candy. But wait. But wait. All right. So Taj and Latasha, because you remember Latasha was in Nashville to meet with Motown Gospel to talk about this solo deal. All right. So she meets up with Taj at, and I wrote this down because I want to remember the name, the National African American Museum of Music, which when I go to Nashville finally, I want to go there because that would be amazing to see. I want to go to all the museums. I love a museum. So they go there and they, walk around there. And one of the fun tidbits that no one really talks about, Taj brought up that Destiny's Child, anytime that they went to Texas, they would follow that. Destiny's Child would follow them, because they were such big fans of SWV. So I thought that was interesting, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised when we think about when we think about R&B groups and you think about the 90s, SWV has to be in the conversation. But I didn't realize that Destiny's Child was such big fans of SWV. All right. Okay. So Taj is talking with Latasha, and of course they come up to the part where Xscape is featured in this museum, which was nice, to kind of see this. First of all, it's promoting this museum, so I'm glad they filmed there as opposed to at Taj's home. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that brings promo to a museum that I didn't know about. I was like, oh, okay, all right. When I go to Nashville, or if you're going to take a special trip to Nashville just to go to that museum, so I thought that was really cool to see. And then it goes into Latasha and Taj talking about her issues with her sister. And as you know, Taj knows the tea of what's been happening between them. But Latasha is trying to find every excuse than the truth. Okay? So she says, well, my sister body shamed me. And Latasha was like, she body shamed you? And Latasha said, I always had the smallest butt in the group. And then she's like, Taj was confused, like all of us were. And then she leads into, and she disrespected my mama. Did you guys feel as if that Tamika disrespected their mom? I didn't feel like, look, there was more that we did not see, and we did get to see unseen footage from the conversation that they were having. For the love of...
I am the fifth member. How about that?
So there was definitely more, but I didn't feel like Tamika disrespected her mom specifically. She didn't accuse her mom of stealing $30,000. She accused Rocky and Latasha. But we already know what's happening here with this relationship and this family, especially if you have a similar situation. Okay. So Latasha keeps sort of deflecting from what the real issue is here. Because there's issues within the group, but she wants to make it about her sister. She wants to make it about, her sister disrespecting her mom. And this is when Latasha drops the bomb that she is negotiating this solo deal, but the group doesn't know. And Taj is like, wait, so does this mean does this mean that, like, what does this mean for the group? And of course, Latasha, because she has no brain without Rocky. Sorry, Latasha, but you're making it this obvious. Sidebar. You probably have seen this, and I've been meaning to do like a separate video talking about some of the interviews that Latasha has done. I did do a separate video. Go check out that video over the weekend that I did. Talking about all the interviews that Latasha has done. Of course, during these interviews, she's being asked about what's been playing out on the show. I get why she's doing this promo and why this album is coming out at this point, because of course you're going to release a project while millions of people are watching your show. But this is not working for you, Latasha, and poor Motown Gospel. Now they wrapped up in this. They're wrapped up in this. And I don't, how's the album going to do? You're being accused of stealing. That's not very godlike. I'm just saying, like, you're being accused of stealing, even though she denies it. In all the interviews, she's denied it. And then she's also insinuated that maybe Tamika might have some mental issues. Look. And to me, that was such a low blow. And and look, I know we need to stop deflecting to just Rocky because at the end of the day, Latasha's a grown woman. But I believe that excuse and all of the things that she's been saying in these interviews are coming from Rocky. Did you guys see Rocky when he went into the studio and then he did that whole moment from What's Love Got to Do with It? And you already saw the pictures that have been online in comparison. Hold on, I pulled the pictures up. Where are they? Hold on, no. I got the pictures here. look, hold on. Let me bring the pictures in because, we talked about this moment and everyone's been talking about this moment. Where's the other picture? Hold on. Here it is. Let me pull it in. Okay. So we have this moment of Rocky speaking in her ear during her confessional. And I said to you, something was very disturbing because her body language literally changes. Her body language literally changes in this moment. And then people are comparing it to this moment in the movie What's Love Got to Do It between Ike and Tina. All right. Look, I'm trying to feel for her. I'm trying to feel for her here. But Latasha, these interviews, every interview, it's deflect. All right, back to this. So Latasha tells Taj about her solo deal, and Taj is like, so what does this mean for the group? Are you guys breaking up? And my thing is that she can have a solo deal and still be in the group. But Candy, as she said in her first speak on it from last week, she was saying that that this is what she does, Latasha. She did this back when they were doing the third album, and now she's doing it again with this new project. All right, we'll get there. Then we get another scene with Coco and her friends. And I know Coco has spoken out about this before, but now on this show, she's talking about her bipolar depression. And she says that the minute that she knew that she needed to get help was because she was going to kill somebody. We always hear when people say that they, depression, they knew they hit rock bottom when they wanted to take their own self. But I never heard of someone admit. And I'm sure now that she said it, more people will admit, well, yeah, that really was my rock bottom. Was it her husband or her ex-husband? Because she's divorced now, right? Am I wrong? I think she is. Was it the husband, Coco? She said that's when she knew she needed to get help. And look, I love it, especially when Black women talk about depression, mental health on these reality shows, especially when tons of people are watching it and are walking around, misdiagnosed, not diagnosed, not getting help. And I told you, I've interviewed Coco before. And I always sort of like the energy that I got from Coco, very standoffish. I always thought it was like a New York thing. I wasn't sure, or maybe a diva thing. But maybe it was some of that. Maybe she just was not in the right space. Maybe it was also the business and being interviewed by so many people that just want to get a, clickbait moment. It could be all of those different things. But I'm so glad that she talked about this. I'm so glad we got to see some of her friends hanging out. It was like a nice little key moment. And again, SWV is adding the light energy that we need for this reality show, because honestly, if they just did another season of Xscape, I think this would have been a little too dark. Like, we're not getting enough fun energy, especially amongst the group. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me just say thank you guys. If you're just joining us, we are talking about the SWV and Xscape reality show, the Queens of R&B. Thank you, super. Oh, why has this come all over my head? Really right now? Look, really right now? Okay. All right. Thank you, Super Women A. Thank you for the super chat. She says, hi, Kempire. Hi. Okay. Oh, wait. There we go. Crystal Blue, thank you so much for the super chat. Crystal Blue says, hold on. Kempire, this episode really made me tear up. I saw Candy feature you on her channel for her recap. I love to see it. Thank you, Crystal Blue. I appreciate the super chat and the support. And yes, all of you have been, I saw the love in the chat while I was on TikTok last night watching the Xscape reality show with our followers there. I did pop into the chat to say hello. I was literally watching the episode, so I couldn't really listen to what she was saying, but I did see the trailer and that Candy featured part of the live that we did. It wasn't the live recap, it was the recap of the Speak On It that we did. We were talking about Latasha, and I told you I had moved on. I still feel that way. Here's the difference between SWV and Xscape. I feel that Xscape can move on with 3 members, but SWV can't. Let's be honest. Come on. SWV cannot move on without Coco. They can't. And maybe that's part of the reason why Coco had the diva moment. She's like, y'all need me. And it's true. Let's be honest. I've been saying that for years. Brittany, first of all, thank you for being a member for 19 months. Almost 2 years, Brittany has been a member. Thank you. She says, don't watch the show, but I'm here to support you. Plus, I always love your recaps. Brittany, thank you. Brittany, but you might want to watch the show. It's good, girl. If you trust my opinion, you might want to watch the show. And it's only 6 episodes. And Bravo's not paying me, but at this point, Bravo. Look, Bravo, at this point. All right. Hold on. There we go. And shout out to all of you. Yes. So we were on that. So if you haven't seen the clip that they posted on Candy Speak On It, here it is. Look.
I want to say I love the way that everybody received my receipts from last week's episode of Speak On It.
And Candy went through all the albums and was just like, girl. And I've seen clips of them performing without Latasha, and I have to say, it's still entertaining. I've moved on. Sorry, Latasha. You gotta deal with Motown Gospel.
I saw it on social.
And I still, right now, and I have a right to change my mind later, but right now, I still believe that Xscape can move on without Latasha, because Latasha really is just a toxic energy in that group. I can't even imagine working with her. But we'll get back to that. Because Latasha, right now, she's trying to use this show. And honestly, that's smart, but it's not smart based on what's come out of the show about you allegedly stealing from your sister and you just constantly being the problem. Okay, come on. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. I'm surprised it took me this long to use that today, but I'm so on this one.
I am the 5th member. How about that?
I'm so on that today. Look. Oh, we're going to wear that one out today. All right. I literally did that right before this live. The amount of efficiency that I had to do. This is part of the reason why I was late, so I can give you guys these moments. Okay. All right. So we have Coco hanging out with her friends and admitting to, her bipolar depression and that she's on meds now. But she says every day it's still a struggle. I think some people think, oh, you get on meds and then that's it. No, you need therapy. Sometimes you got to switch up your medication. And if you are just getting on medication, please understand, sometimes it takes a few weeks before, your doctor has to figure out sometimes the dosage that's right for you. Our bodies are so complex. So please make sure that if you're feeling some type of way, go speak to someone. Doesn't automatically mean that they're going to put you on medication. Maybe you just need to speak with someone. So just keep that in mind. All right. J-Spot says the Museum of African American Music in Nashville is fantastic. I keep hearing that. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to make a special trip. Just saying. All right. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. I see you guys. And shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and of course, everyone watching on our YouTube channel. If you're not following us there, what are you doing? You're missing out. There are different experiences on all the platforms. All right. So back to this. Okay. So Tamika and her mom have a conversation and where is it? Mama Gloria. So Mama Gloria goes over to Tamika's house to have a conversation about the disrespect that she felt from Tamika last week, during the whole coming out of Latasha stealing money from her, Latasha and Rocky. And Tamika feels as if her mom shows favoritism towards Latasha. And it was very obvious. But we never knew about this. If you followed Xscape over the years, Tamika was ride or die with her sister. She would never go against her sister. But I wonder what it was. And I think that, Tamika, if you're watching this, can you in your next recap explain at what point did you have this realization that you were like, I need to protect myself and my own mental health, and what's happening with my sister and my mom is not healthy for me, and I need to step away. Like, what was the moment? Because apparently the whole stealing of the 30,000 was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. So I'm wondering what exactly happened recently that made you decide, yeah, this is not working for me anymore. I need to step out and step away from my family. So Tamika says that, and I'm sure a lot of children of single parent homes might feel like this, especially if the child looks like the daddy, acts like the daddy, and the mom treats you like, oh, you like him, and treats you a little differently. And Tamika says that she's a daddy's girl. Where is their daddy? Is he in their lives? I wonder. So she brings that up. She says, you show favoritism towards Latasha. The mom's like, no, I don't show favoritism. They clip back to that scene. We even see, I don't think we saw the scene, right? Where mama says, where Tamika says, you're not the fifth member. And the mama's like,
I am the fifth member. How about that?
So the mom is like, I am the fifth member. I'm going to put the microphone in your hand. So she said a lot without saying a lot, right? So we already know. And I'm so glad at the end of this scene that we were able to get that moment from the mom apologizing to Tamika, but I don't think it's over, right? I don't think it's over for Tamika and feeling the way that she's feeling. And I'm not sure if the mom was motivated by the cameras. I don't necessarily believe that 100%, maybe a little bit. But I do believe that she did want to apologize to Tamika if Tamika was feeling, because that's still her child. She still gave birth to a child. So I feel like there's still love and connection there. I don't believe that it is completely, oh, Latasha's the favorite. But I also wonder, I'm assuming that both Latasha and Tamika take care of their mom. I'm assuming that. You know what I mean? Am I wrong to assume that? I'm assuming that. You remember, we talked about this before, and we'll talk about it again. You guys reminded me that on their Unsung, they talk about how the mom was taking money out of their account, and they had to take her off the account. So I'm wondering. Oh, some of you said that was for TV. Ooh. I love this when you guys say, I'm so glad I caught you live. OMG, I caught you live. I'm screaming. Don't scream, especially if you're at work. Especially if you're at work. Do not scream if you're at work, okay? All right. But her mama is not very pleasant in her demeanor. She isn't in Xscape. That's your daughter's thing. Yeah, but apparently, hello, look.
I am the fifth member. How about that?
So in her head, she feels entitled to the money, probably. She probably feels entitled to the attention. She probably feels entitled to everything in their lives. And Latasha's probably more than willing to, be that person. But so Latasha, I don't know if you guys connected with Latasha's face in this moment, because Latasha was so hurt. Look at her. She went from being a grown woman with 3 children to a little girl in this moment. And then she starts crying. And I think when she starts crying is when her mom, who gets emotional and then a little aggressive with, turning her face. She said, look at me. Okay? Look at me. And she says, I'm sorry. There's a lot of toxicity going on in this family. But I was happy that in this moment, we were able to come to some resolution. I don't think that it's done. Do you want to see a reunion? I know Mona Scott is all here for a reunion. She's all here for a reunion. I think we need a reunion. But you think everyone's going to show up? I just don't know. I don't know. Because if we have a reunion, who's going to navigate that conversation about the $30,000? I already feel like that's just going to go downhill. And I don't want Rocky in the building because according to Tamika, he likes to threaten people with pounds. So I don't think I need him in the building. All right? You all want a reunion. I see that. Oh, yeah, Tamika. Sorry, I'm mixing up names. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the reality show for SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B. If you're part of the replay crew, as always, be sure to let me know your thoughts on the reality show, on this conversation between Mama Gloria and Tamika. But like I said, I think a lot of Black children, a lot of Black adults are very triggered by the interaction between Mama Gloria, Latasha, and Tamika, because we've seen this type of behavior, some in our own families and other families. It's quite triggering. And I hope Tamika is in therapy, because I think there's more for her to unpack here. And like I said, I would really like to know what exactly was the moment that Tamika was like, no, I'm done. I'm done defending and deflecting for my sister. Gwen says a reunion is a must. Well, let's make it happen. Candy, I know you watch, or at least Jamie, I know y'all watch. Can we get a reunion? Even if you got to do it for YouTube. YouTube do better numbers than Bravo anyway. One more time.
I am the fifth member. How about that?
All right. We're going to move on from this conversation on with Tamika and Mama Gloria. I felt like it was necessary, but I don't think that it's over. I'm glad that it ended with Mama Gloria at least apologizing. I don't know if you believe that it was sincere. I don't know. I always try to keep an open mind, like I was doing recently with Tamar, and I was like, all right. And then if you follow me on TikTok, we've been watching Queen's Court together. Literally, we've been watching all the episodes together, y'all. And I'm like, okay, maybe Tamar has changed. And every time I think that Tamar has changed, she reminds us that she has not changed. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah. Look, yeah. I really, really believe that I really in my mind, like, oh, she's changed. And then she showed up on Queen's Court, not changed. And then she on Watch What Happens Live. Again, it's the same Tamar. And Tamar, if you have to tell people, like, I'm not doing this for attention, I'm not trying to cause drama, then that's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing, Tamar. But like I said, I'm going to talk more about the Tamar situation in a separate video because there's so much to unpack with that. So I'm going to leave that to the side. All right. But I'm trying to keep an open mind with Mama Gloria. I just don't know if we get a reunion, are we going to unpack this family trauma again? I don't know. I think they need to unpack that in therapy off of television. I forgot that Taj is a Taurus. You know, we love to talk astrological signs. You guys, I think, told me last week that she was a Taurus. Well, Candy brought it up again this week when Taj goes over her house. So Taj and Candy talk. First of all, they're catching up, and Taj brings up that she saw Latasha in Nashville because Latasha, here Taj goes, stirring the pot. Because was she supposed to tell Candy the other group members? One thing is she would tell her group members. Was she supposed to tell Candy? Oh, here comes the bone collector Taj. So Taj tells Candy, well, she's got a solo album that she's considering. And Candy's like, she did this years ago. So the same behavior that she's showing now, she showed years ago, right before the third album. And look, no matter how you feel about Candy, we see it. It's not like we have to even be a Candy fan. Even if you are a Latasha fan, you literally see what's happening on this show. And then when you think back to when they broke up, Xscape, then you're like, oh, so this is what happened. And Latasha's got her mama gassing her head up. She's got Rocky gassing her head up. Like, oh, you know, if you have to remind them who you are, you know, grab that mic and remind them who you are. Look. Oh, another beautiful woman that can sing. Okay, come on. Voices are dime a dozen. We know plenty of voices in this business that just have not made it, no matter how great their voices are, for whatever reason. And I'm starting to think it's your karma. Look, Latasha. Me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Deborah says maybe Tosh thought Candy knew. No, because didn't Latasha tell her that she hasn't said anything to the group yet? Or she just said that in her confessional? No, I think Taj knew. Taj is a bone carrier this season, and I'm okay with it because I love Taj. Okay? All right. G3 says Rocky coming to the session was weird. It was. Look, it was. He's weird though. Deidre, thank you so much for the super chat. Deidre says, "Hi all, Kempire. You should interview Taj. Taj is so positive." Thank you, Deidre. Thank you for the super chat. Nicole, thank you so much for the super chat, Nicole. Nicole says, "I'm going to start calling you Kempire Jefferson because you're moving on up. I saw the speak on it. Use this opportunity with Candy to do after shows." I'm good. Look, I'm busy, y'all. I got shows. I got videos to do. Look, y'all trying to keep me. Y'all trying to drain me, and I put my boundaries up. I have things that I'm working on. I can't do all the things, but thank you for the idea. Tony, thank you so much for the super chat. Tony says, "I hope Gloria was sincere, but me too. But Tamika still needs to keep her guard up and stand her ground. I don't trust that mama. She's still showing favoritism." Yeah, because we already know you literally just a few days ago were trying to deny the whole money situation. So, and now you know what I'm also tired of? Oh, this stuff stays in the family. You don't embarrass the family by bringing this stuff out in public. That is another toxic, triggering thing that happens in our community that needs to stop. It needs to stop. I mean, there's one thing to have decorum, but there's one thing to also, I'm supposed to suppress my feelings because everything stays in the family where it never gets solved. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, speaking of mental fit chick, thank you for the super chat. She says, "Mama needs to be realistic and be truthful. Tasha has to admit that she was hurt due to jealousy because Candy made it. Even Rocky said in an interview, they sat back and watched Candy make money." Oh, and I'm sure that burned him. And then there are accusations against him in regards to the group and stealing and all this stuff. But we won't go into that unless it comes up during the show. There's a lot of accusations, okay, that I believe. All right. So Candy and Taj had that conversation, and this is when Candy finds out about Latasha trying to go solo. So Candy, of course, tells her bestie, Tiny, because they've been cool throughout all of this stuff. They've been cool. Hold on, let me save this. So she, of course, tells Tiny about it. I don't think any of them are surprised. Because this is Latasha. This is Latasha. And now Latasha's trying to have a big old solo career off the back of this reality show. And I honestly believe if Latasha wanted to do the solo project and this reality show, and she was very transparent with the group, I really believe that the group would be like, okay, of course we need to prioritize things for the group because that's important. But Latasha gets shady, and yet she wants to use the popularity of her group and this show to promote her solo project. And one of the things that came up on Candy's Speak on it that I thought was interesting is that Candy says that, if she had a solo career, if Latasha had a solo career that was successful, she probably would have nothing to do with Xscape. And I believe that. If Latasha's career had popped off after that third album, we would not see. She probably would have done an interview with me 12 years ago. She probably felt like she was too good. We wouldn't have got this Xscape reunion. We wouldn't have got this new reality show. She's all doing this so that she could launch this career. LaMonica says, "Nobody's trying to stop that girl money." And I really believe that the group would support her. Because I really believe that they look as because they grew up with each other. These women have known each other since they were teenagers. And even despite all of the shady things that have happened and people stealing people's money, I still believe that they would support each other. All right. Look. All right, let's talk about our girl Lelee. Oh, Lelee. Whoa, 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 Lelee. But Lelee has always been likable. She's always been good reality TV. We get this scene with Lelee and Lelee and her son Kyrie. I was actually surprised how traditional Lelee was. I thought of all of the women, she would probably been the most open-minded, a little bit more loose. I mean, she is a little more loose when she was talking about her erotica book that she wants to do. What's her erotica name? Her erotica author name? Hold on, I wrote it down. Sister Hot Pussy. Okay, I was like, wait. All right. So she's talking with her son, and she talks about the journey of the success of SWV, and then when they broke up, she didn't have any money, and she talked about living in her car, sleeping in her car. She says she would not sleep during the night for fear of being attacked or harmed, and then she said she would wait till the morning and then she would sleep at Yankee Stadium, in the parking lot at Yankee Stadium is when she would sleep. My heart broke for her. My heart broke for her because, first of all, she's probably one of the most likable of all of, there are likable ones. She was definitely one of the most likable, very funny, very open. And I was just like, damn. That broke my heart. And then for her to go from being a part of this worldwide famous R&B group. Remember, in the 90s, R&B, I know some people that may not be familiar with the 90s, but R&B in the 90s is what pop music is today. Like, R&B was at the top. It was international. It was at the top of the charts. So for her to go from being at the top of the charts to homeless and living in her car, but, her story is incredible. She went on to get her GED. Then she went on to, she went to night school, and then she went to get her GED, and then she got a regular job. Can you know how humbling that has to be? To go from, her face is so recognizable. If I saw her in my corporate office, I'm like, oh my God, that's Lelee. Like, girl, can I sing a little Xscape? I mean, Xscape. Sing some SWV some week. But she had 2 kids, so she had to take care of them. And then fast forward to today, the group reunites because Coco's solo career didn't go anywhere. They reunite, and as I said to you before, I think they had to go through their growing pains. If you watched their reality show, you saw what they had to go through over the years and to get where they are. So they had to go through what Xscape is going through, but I feel like they have gotten it and they understand they're stronger together than they are apart. But as I said to you before, SWV is nothing without Coco's voice. Like, they couldn't go on and do solo projects, obviously. Although they tried. But I'm glad that they came together and have been able to make a life for themselves. And I think they very much like anyone that comes on reality TV. You saw her talking about this erotica book. I think she's like, well, I'm making good money touring with SWV. However, I want to, expand, which she should. She should, because God forbid we close down as a world again. I'm sure it hurt their pockets when the pandemic hit. A lot of R&B acts weren't able to tour and their pockets were, affected. So I'm sure she's trying to figure out what's the next thing that I can do. What can I invest in to expand on this platform? Smart, Lelee. That's that New York hustle in her. And I wish her the best because I feel like she has a really good heart. Her son trying to capitalize off of her contacts and whatnot and trying to be a rapper. I'm glad she was like, he's going to have to, work hard like she did. He's going to have to hustle. And he better start. Look, when is he starting? Because look, at least with Coco's son, he got, 1 million something followers on Instagram, whatever that means.
I am the 5th member. How about that?
Okay. So we have that moment with Lelee and her son. I'm happy for Lelee to rise from the ashes. And who would have thought? She probably thought like this is going to be it. I'm going to, live this regular life of working in corporate America, and that's it. But now, no, she's been back. They've been touring for years at this point. It's been a few years. Oh my God, it might be almost 10 years since they've been back together, and probably more than 10. I don't even know. You guys run the numbers. I can't remember after this pandemic. All right. So Latasha's in the studio. Oh, God. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Every time her scenes come up. That's what I think of. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. I appreciate you guys. Keep tapping your screens. Thank you so much for the gifts, for the follows. Shout out to everyone on YouTube. Be sure to like the video. Once we get to, I think the mod says 1,200 likes, then we will drop the call link. I don't know why we have like 2,400 of you guys watching and you haven't liked the video. Really? Look, really? What's that about? Oh, keep watching, hater. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Okay. All right, let's move on. So Latasha's in the studio. Why did I recognize one of the people in the studio? I mean, Atlanta's small. Anyways. So Latasha's in the studio working on music. That didn't sound very like gospel music to me, but maybe she's doing a, modern gospel. Look, maybe. It sounded good though. She sounded better in the studio than she did when singing for Motown Gospel. But of course, all of Latasha's scenes is going to be about her as a solo artist. It's nothing about the group. It's always about her and her intentions and her elevating her career. Okay, girl. Here's the thing. It's not that Latasha's not talented. I think it's Latasha's karma. This is your karma. Look. This is your karma. Because your intention is not pure. Look.
Lies! The lie!
It's not pure. And I'm big on intention. If your intention's not pure, nothing's going to work out for you. Ever. It's never going to work out for you. Back then, and still you haven't learned from what happened back then? Not trap gospel. I like the song though. Don't get me wrong. I did like the song to do it. And then when she got into the booth and then Rocky comes in with his awkward dancing. Did you notice everyone's face? Everyone's face when he came in dancing. And he's like, come on, anime. Gotta hurry up, anime. Oh my God. So this week, this is definitely gonna make the rounds this week with this man. Come on, anime. Come on. Come on, anime. Just saying. Freudian slip, maybe. So, of course, their one-on-one conversation leads to this meeting that's about to happen with Xscape and SWV to talk about they're doing a show or a tour together. Okay? And Latasha, again, saying, because obviously if Rocky doesn't say it for her, she's going to say, I don't know, in regards to what's supposed to happen with the group. Like, what's her thoughts on what's happening with the group. But Rocky mentioned, he says that he can forgive Tamika for the accusation. Here's the thing. If someone accused you of stealing $30,000, are you already forgiving them for that accusation? Unless it was true. And you want to just sort of, brush over it. Come on. Let's be real. If someone accused you of being a thief, are you going to take that lightly? And just be like, I can forgive her. She just called you a thief, motherfather. I don't know if I'm ready to forgive her for calling me a thief. And I know I'm not a thief. I didn't take any money from her. But maybe you did. I mean, it's not the first time that he's been accused. Just saying. The streets have been talking. I don't know if he did or not. So he's like, I can forgive her. Well, Tamika did her own recap of the episode. And she says that she felt like what he said in that scene with Latasha, he threatened her. I mean, I thought it too, because when he said what he said, I was just like, wait, is he threatening his sister-in-law? Like, that don't even sound right. Like, what is he gonna do? You know what I mean? All right. Okay. So he has that conversation with Tasha, and that's when he says, if there's any issue, you just grab the mic and remind them who you are. Who are you, Latasha? Who are you? But you saw there was a change in her face. She was just like, I think she's been brainwashed between her mama and her husband. She's been brainwashed to believe that she is Gladys Knight. She is Diana Ross. She is Beyonce. And I'm not saying that she shouldn't feel good about herself and she shouldn't hype herself up, but it's at a different level. It's at a narcissistic, demonic. Oh, not demonic. Not demonic. Did you see her face? She was like, you grab that mic and you remind them who you are. Who are you? Look.
Who are you? Inquiring minds want to know.
Who is she? Kia says classic manipulation. Well, you know what? Look. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, we are almost at 250,000 subscribers here on YouTube. We hit over 304,000 on TikTok, but TikTok might be gone. So TikTok users, if you're following me on TikTok, be sure to follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube. That way you don't miss out. Be sure to subscribe to our Kempire Shorts, where we are posting short content as well. So just in case they take TikTok from us, you don't want to miss out. Some of you only follow me on TikTok, and I appreciate it. But if TikTok disappears tomorrow, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? TikTok. Just saying. Anyways. Shout out to our King's Guards, aka our moderators. We could not do this without them. Shout out to our Team Kempire, Royal Court members, and Senior Royals. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And for everything Kempire, for my social media, for our merch store, and some really good things are coming for the merch store, guys. Please be patient. I'm hoping for the like a spring launch. Well, not spring, because spring's this week. Today's spring. Look, at 5-something today, spring officially begins. Spring has sprung. But no, closer to my birthday. Okay, so stay tuned for that. But everything is available at TheKempire.com. All right, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. No, I'm just saying, my TikTok's not gone yet, but TikTok might be gone. Rashana says, oh, no, I don't have Instagram, Kempire. Are you following me, Rashana, on YouTube? I'm everywhere. Look, I'm everywhere. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I am trying to get all of your super chats and seeing what you guys are trying to say in the chat. Again, live chat. I will be posting the call-in link once we get to 1,200 likes. If you're a member of the channel, I will be posting the call-in link on the community tab in just a second. Cassie, thank you so much for the super chat. Cassie says, I don't even know what NF, unless that's a typo, NFN means, but is that, look, am I getting that age? In a Black household with some mothers, you're lucky if you can get an apology. Usually it's just bring a plate of food and never talk about it again, right? And maybe that's why I was impressed that her mom apologized. Maybe that's why I was impressed. I was like, wow, she's apologizing? Just saying. The Mental Fit Chick, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Tasha wants a moment. She's excited to say, I'm the girl after being ridiculed because she wasn't what society deemed as desirable back in the 90s. Tasha feels as if she's the girl right now. She's that girl right now. Oh. the delusion. And thank you, Mental Fit Chick, for the super chat. Miss Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, times like this, I'm glad I'm an only child. Wow. Stanielle, thank you so much for the super chat. Stanielle says, till you do right by me, everything you touch gonna fail, in my silly voice, in regards to Latasha. Exactly. I really feel like it's because her intention's not pure. Ninja Drippy, thank you so much for the super chat. Ninja says, random, are you not reviewing Love and Marriage DC anymore? I am, but I'm doing it on Tuesday Takeover. For those that may have missed it, I am reviewing Love and Marriage DC, but on our Tuesday takeover. That's when we recap a variety of reality TV, and we have timestamps. Thanks to our mods, Mama Ali. We do have timestamps, so if you missed our Love and Marriage DC recaps, that is on our Tuesday takeover. All right, so we will be talking about the latest episode tomorrow. All right. Stacy says her mom apologized because she knows she's wrong by calling her jealous of Tasha. Let's hope. All right. So out of the studio, we get Coco and her son talking. Jalen. Jalen has a really good voice. I don't feel like Jalen singing in that moment. The scene that we got really highlights his voice. Be sure to check out the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. I have video clip of Coco and Jalen singing together, which is doing very well. And I think with this show, it's picked up even more. So go check that out if you missed it. So Jalen has an incredible voice, very much like his mama and his grandma. But Jalen, Coco wants him to be a dentist. He was in school for dentistry. She's paying for it. But he tells his mom that I want to focus solely on music. But Coco, as you already know, she's been in this business, and the story she probably could tell about this business would probably shock some of you. All right, especially in the 90s, R&B, back in the day when they didn't have social media. You know the things they might have seen. All right. And she also knows the heartbreak of the business. Look, she's incredibly talented, and her solo career didn't go anywhere. And I'm still shocked by that myself, because honestly, I was just like, that's a no-brainer. Coco's going to go solo. She's going to do well. And she didn't. So Jalen's like, let's call grandma. And grandma's just like, no, you need to stay in school. And Jalen, very much like a lot of children, he's like, I don't want to be forced. Why can't I do what I love? This is what I love to do. I don't want to have to go to school anymore. And Coco's like, I thought you wanted to be a dentist. Here's the thing, and this might be old school of me, Lord. In my head while watching that scene, I was like, well, Jalen, you can do music on the side. And if that pops off, then you can drop out of school. But it's not popping off yet. Because I feel like doing music, yes, you need to give a lot of time and energy to. But I feel like you could go to school, finish dentistry school, and you could still be recording and writing. Use this time to develop yourself as an artist, because so much in this industry, and probably from this age, and it's probably why he feels this way. Oh, he feels like, oh, I can sing online and then I'll be a huge artist. But no, what the artists of today are missing is development. So while you're in school, develop your voice, strengthen your voice, work on your writing, understand the business, understand where your mama may have failed. Look. And your teeth are too beautiful for you not to be a dentist. Those teeth. I'm just saying. But that might be old school of me. And I'm willing to check myself. I understand it's a different age. And maybe because as an artist, yes, I was writing and recording when I was 17, 18, 19. And I still went to school. And maybe I shouldn't have went to school, and I really should have gave it 110%. And I would be in a different space. I want to be here talking to you. I'd be an artist. No, I'm still doing music. There's music of Kempire on streaming apps. Go check it out. Okay. Shameless plug. But I went to school. I even had some grad school credits. Just saying. I dropped out of grad school though. Oh, that's a story I need to tell on the podcast. But I dropped out of grad school, NYU. I almost had my master's too. Well, not almost. Look, calm down. I paid for it. No one was paying for it. I paid for college too. Well, I had a partial scholarship, but still. Why am I talking about me? Mind your business. Oh. So maybe this old school of me, but he gets really emotional and he's just like, I don't want to be forced. And it's a different age. It's a different age. Some people might say he's an entitled child. I don't know, but they do agree with him about how about I take off a year from school. Here's the thing. When you take off a year from school, normally you don't go back. Just saying. But Coco, because when the grandmother agrees, she's like, yes, I agree with that. And Coco was like, what? Because you remember Coco had to tell her mama that she was in a gospel group until she had to sign the record deal. So, but here's the thing, when grandparents are a little different with their grandchildren versus their own children. And she's lived and learned. She's seen what Coco has gone through. So, she first of all, Coco refers to Jalen as her broke best friend. And Jalen refers to grandma as his old best friend. Okay, all right. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I want to hear more Jalen's music, but Jalen, I feel like you could go to school and do music. And I think if you take a year off from school, which he probably already has taken the year off, I feel like you're not going to go back. It doesn't hurt to go and finish your degree. We already know in order to be a dentist, he has a few years in order to be a dentist, but at least get your bachelor's or something. You know what I mean? He already got his high school diploma. And to be honest with you, when I got into corporate America, they didn't require me for the jobs that I had. They didn't require the bachelor's that I had. Just saying. Maybe Jalen can do it. Okay. Maybe Jalen can do it. All right, we're going to move on. Because this has been the biggest hot topic of this episode of SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B. Guys, if you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but your channel and other channels that are talking about reality TV or pop culture. Don't forget, I do have a couple of stories that I need to get to after this live that we will be unpacking in regards to Tamar Braxton and some other things. I'm not going to get into it, but you'll see when I do the video. Tomorrow, we will be going live and talking about 90 Day Fiancé. We'll be talking about Below Deck. We'll be talking about Love and Marriage DC. We'll be talking about Queen's Court. All right? We'll be talking about all of those shows during our Tuesday takeover at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. PST, 11:30 a.m. Central. All right. Miss Esquire says, twerking on the school fence. Yeah, basically. Here I go. Look, here I go. Mental Fit Chick, thank you so much for this another super chat. Mental Fit Chick says, he better learn from Meg the Stallion, a.k.a. Megan Pete. Did she finished, right? She finished. Megan's outside now. Did y'all see Megan? Megan's outside looking cute. She always looked cute, but you know what I mean? I was like, all right. Anyways, so SWV and Xscape have a meeting to discuss this big show, possible tour. Xscape are having management decision issues, so they don't have a manager at this meeting, but SWV does have their managers at this meeting. All right. Oh, before that, Tiny and Candy talk about Latasha. There's way too many names. Latasha going solo, because of course Candy told Tiny. So they're all like, oh, here we go. Here we go. But Tiny doesn't see a problem with her being solo and she could do both. Yeah, but Latasha doesn't want to do both. She wants to be the Diana Ross. She wants to be the Beyonce. She wants to be the Shaka Khan. Here's the thing. Even if you have an amazing voice, if you don't have that it factor as a personality, it's not just about your talent, unfortunately, in the music business. You have to have a personality. And based off this reality show alone, the personality that we're getting from this situation
is the one of the devil.
All right. Exactly. Thank you, Jenna. You understand my plight. She says too many names, two Tamikas, a lot of T's. Thank you. That's why I really keep calling Tasha Latasha, because I need to separate it. All right. So let's talk about this conversation. So the conversation about this big tour. Remember initially on, I think it was like episode 1. It feels like it's been more than like 3 episodes. They were talking about what this show would look like. And remember, Tamika had this great idea, maybe we could switch out and do songs together and da-da. She had some really great ideas. So this is not going to be your typical show, okay? It's not going to be your typical show, which reminds me, let me just drop the call-in link for members first. If you're a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, be sure to subscribe. We're almost at 250,000 subscribers. That's almost 250,000 subscribers. The road to 1 million. All right. Let me drop this for you members on the community tab. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. I see you guys. Thank you. Let me save that. Okay. Let me do this. It's me. Hi. I'm the that really was in my head, y'all. And shout out to Taylor Swift. Y'all gonna think I'm a Swiftie, and I'm really not. I mean, no shade to her. No shade to her. But she's on tour right now, and now that song is stuck in my head. It's not a bad song though. But like I said, every time I see Latasha, I'm like, this homegirl is the problem. Did you guys realize that before the show aired, and this just was sort of like the cherry on top? Or did this really convince you, oh no, she is the problem? Look, if you are a Team Kempire member, I'm dropping the call-in link for you as well. Once we get 1,200 likes on YouTube, I will drop the call-in link for the general audience. I am going to be putting a timer on because, like I said, I have a couple more content videos that I need to give you guys before this day is out. All right. So let's talk about this conversation. So Candy brings up headliner. Who should be the headliner? Me. Look, me.
I am the 5th member. How about that?
I mean, I want to ask Mama Gloria how she feels about it. I want to know if she feels as if she should be the headliner. All of you want to talk about being headliner. Mama Gloria is like, no. I am the headliner, the 5th member.
I am the 5th member.
Okay.
How about that?
Mama Gloria says, I am the 5th member. So she probably like, no, my name needs to be up there. Okay, I did watch Candy speak on it, where she speaks on why she's the one who brought up the conversation of headliner. And she does explain on her speak on it the reason why she brought it up, because first of all, it's business. And when someone's the headliner, when it comes to these promoters, it's about who's making the most on this. One of the things that stood out to me, and I'm glad I watched this again today, is that Taj keeps bringing up, well, I feel like we should be co-headliners for this special show. And I agree. And being a co-headliner is, to me, fair, especially for this special show. And she says that a couple of times, for this show. But a tour, Candy said on her speak on it, for that one show, she's okay with a headliner, with the co-headliner. But for a tour, she says because in recent years, Xscape has been a headliner for several shows. And she says SWV has opened for us, because you saw Coco goes backstage and she's like, I'm not opening for anybody. I sold 30 million albums. And for those of you that might be confused, because I know some of you online have been confused, how did SWV sell more than Xscape? Well, when they talk about their album certifications, they're talking about their US album certifications. So SWV, their first 2 albums went platinum here in the United States, but they've had a couple of albums after that. And Xscape, they had 3 albums, all went US platinum, meaning they sold 1 million records, okay? Keep in mind, platinum certifications in other countries aren't counted the same way, Like in the UK, it's like you have to sell a certain amount. It's not 1 million copies in order to be platinum. It's a little different unless they've changed it recently. So to me, it's not about the albums. It's not about the albums because it's very clear SWV has sold more albums worldwide than any of them. Okay? And SWV is iconic. I put SWV and Xscape on the same level in my mind, okay? I hate that this scene and the conversation now is pitting these two groups against each other. Yes, we did it for fun and for the culture for verses, and people are still saying, oh no, this one won, this one. No. Candy says on her speak on it, for her, it's about the money. It's about a president, meaning, you know, if we co-headline now, it might ruin other opportunities for us in the future. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I understand where she was coming from. But here's the thing. Here I go twerking on a fence. look. Because initially I was sort of like, come on. Like, why do you guys believe this? Okay, well, look at the numbers. We know that Candy's been on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We know Tiny had her reality show that was taken from her because of the accusations. Let's be honest. Come on, we got to talk about things. But they do have a social media following. But here's the truth. The reason why Xscape sells out is not just because of their talent. It's also because they don't do a lot of shows. It's also because people don't know when will Xscape tour again? When will Xscape all be together again? So that's part of the reason why they sell out and why there was such a surge of interest in them coming back together. They've had drama for years. SWV, they do tour a lot. They do a lot of shows. Okay. Lelee posted this on her Twitter in regards to the opening act situation. She says, one thing about us, we've been doing this ish for a minute. We know how the industry works and we know the level of responsibility as an artist. We've given our headlining spots to other acts just because we wanted to go back to the hotel and sleep. The music will stand always. So she said, because they've co-headlined or they have just sort of been like the opening act for other artists. That's their reasoning for it. But here's the thing too. Let's not act as if the music industry is not sexist. And the reason why a group like SWV hasn't headlined their own tour. There's a level of sexism. Here's where I disagree with Candy and Xscape. This was an opportunity. First of all, if you were going to tour together and you were going to really sort of like intermingle and perform some songs together, like this is a whole different show. It's not, oh, we're performing our music and then we're performing our music. No, the ideas that they were kind of playing with, it was going to be like this intertwined type of show. So for me, it's going to be a different type of show. And it should be co-headline. And this would solve a lot in argument. Money, let the managers figure out the money. Let the managers figure out the money. I wonder, look, since it's just how many of y'all in here? since it's just 20, well, almost 3,000 of us watching on multiple platforms. I wonder, in SWV, do they split their money evenly? Like, look. And you know why I'm asking that question. And if they do, that's a credit to their maturity. Because couldn't be me. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. And here's where I feel like Xscape, yes, you've headlined before. We get it. Co-headlining to me shouldn't be a big deal. The money is a whole other conversation. Let that be decided amongst the managers, especially to maintain a good, because although Candy kept on saying it's not personal, it will become personal in a hot second. So let's not have the conversation. Let's have our managers have those conversations about money with the promoters and things like that. But we should co-headline the tour and co-headline this show. And they do end up doing the show, but they're not touring. We already know that. And I get it. Xscape, we understand the business. Candy breaks down the business in her speak on it. But I disagree. Because I feel as if Xscape, what you could have done in this moment is set a precedent for SWV out of respect for them as the women that came before you. And also to tell other promoters, these women are headliners too. Because I do believe they have chosen in the past, depending on certain shows, not to be the headliners. But I also believe there's a level of sexism and disrespect to SWV that they don't get because, oh, maybe they don't have songs on the charts anymore, and that's why they're not considered headliners. This could have been an opportunity for women to uplift of the other women. Instead of making this about, oh, this is business. Because let's be honest, yes, we know Tiny and Candy have millions of followers on social media because of the reality shows that they've been on. But the people that are really going to these shows already know about Xscape music. It's not necessarily people that are just discovering you on reality TV that are going to these shows. Am I wrong? Because I could be wrong. And you might have a difference of opinion. Please understand, you are welcome to have a difference of opinion here, as long as you're respectful. But I listened to Candy speak on it twice. Lord, bless me. Especially talking about the business side. We get the business. I feel as if, though, this would have been a moment for Xscape, out of respect for the women that paved the way for you, to show, because I bet the guys don't have these issues. And I think this is part of the reason why Xscape always has these issues. Now their issues are translating to how they do business with other people. So I'm not pleased. I'm not completely wrong. Look. I'm not completely surprised, I should say. Or wrong. Okay. All right. Hold on. And look, guys, and thank you for those of you that are saying that I'm right. I can be wrong too. But that's what I thought. I get where Candy was coming from when you talk about the business side of things, but no. All right. Bernita says, SWV had a reality show before Xscape. Yeah. But do they have the social media following and engagement? No, they don't. But like I said before, I feel like the people that are following Candy and Tiny, I really would love to see the numbers, and those numbers are hard to prove. How many of those numbers are actually the people that are showing up and buying those tickets for you guys? I think, and Candy points this out in her speak on it. Well, she says, here's the thing. SWV has saturated the market because they are touring more than we are. Yeah. How many shows does Xscape do a year? Not the same amount. Not the same amount. And that's part of the reason why people will show up, because they're like, oh, when are they going to do another show? But does that mean SWV needs to stop touring? No, that's their moneymaker. But like I said before, this is a way for women to empower other women. But don't let me get started about empowering women, because y'all, look, you'd be like, you're not a woman. All right. And thank you so much for the super chat. And says, I just became a member last week. Love your show. You are real. Thank you, Ann. I appreciate that. Ooh. And I will go back to make sure I didn't miss any super chats, guys. Thank you so much. Shout out to all of you that's in Cash Apps, Venmos, PayPals. We appreciate the support. So thank you. Dee Dee says, Kempire, I don't agree with you respectfully. Thankfully. Candy know the business. Many times she helps others. She gets messed over at the end. And look, we do know that Candy helps people in business all the time. I don't appreciate that Candy was the only one speaking up in that group, for her group. I wish all of them would have spoke up, but maybe they didn't all agree. Candy says that they do, but I need them to say it. Because you saw that all three of SWV were speaking up in that moment. And I get why SWV were a little thrown. They're like, wait a minute. And Candy points out well, you guys have opened for us before. Yeah, but now we're talking about a different type of show. We're talking about, we just are doing a reality show. We're talking about doing a different type of tour. It's not your typical tour where one goes on and the other goes off, and you know what I mean? And look, we have so many examples of artists that are huge that have toured together and they've learned how to do it. Sometimes the impact of doing this tour or doing a project is bigger than your ego and bigger than the check that you're going to receive. And I get it. Money's very important to a lot of people. But I'm just saying. That's just my thought. I get why people are a little mixed about it. And I'm not making it about album sales because at the end of the day, album sales, the numbers speak for themselves, Candy. The numbers speak for themselves. If you go look at the streams, the current streams for Xscape and SWV. The numbers speak for themselves. SWV during the pandemic had a couple of songs that went viral. Okay? And we're not talking about hips, legs, body. I don't even know that song. We're not talking about that. Danielle says they wanted Candy to take the fall. No, Candy's about her business. And if Candy's going to do anything, it's taking time away from all the other projects that she's working on. So I get it. And a lot of things that she said in her speak on it made sense. However, sometimes things that make sense and uplifting someone, and I know she's uplifted many people. We're not going to go through that. We know that. But I feel like, come on. Especially because the type of tour that we're talking about. And I hate that this conversation is being had because now it's separating the SWV fans and the Xscape fans. I'm a fan of both, so I'm not picking a side. I like them both. I think they should have did the tour, and I think it's now they've missed an opportunity to set a precedent for other girl groups to tour because of this petty ridiculousness of a headliner. Okay, and I know it's about money, but y'all figure out the money on the backside. Both of you headline. You could still make money and headline. I know Candy's saying no, because it sets a precedent. Well, set a new one. Oh, look. Look, I'm hot. All right. We're going to get to some callers, guys. We're almost at 1,200 likes. We have over 2,600 people watching on YouTube and Facebook, and we have over 200-something people watching on TikTok. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch and Twitter. We appreciate you guys. Like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. All right. Okay, let me just say, Seven, thank you so much for the super chat. Seven says, Candy and Tiny might have more IG follows, but SWV has 1 million more monthly listeners on Spotify. Yeah. But to me, I feel like it's just so petty. It's just petty at this point. But I'm glad for the mixing of drama because this is real. This is what happens in business. This is what happens behind the scenes that you guys don't get to see. I'm glad that we're seeing it on this reality show. We need that. All right. Hold on. I just missed the super chat and I lost it. Hold on, y'all. There we go. Princess Di, thank you so much for the super chat. Princess Di says, now, Kempire, if you were making 100K for a job and another content creator makes 25K, would you take 50% cut to split? We're not talking about splitting the money. See, this is what y'all listen to what you want to listen to. I said the money, you can have your managers discuss it on the other. Candy, are you on your burner? No, I understand. The money, no. However, the money should be changed a little bit if we are changing up the show where maybe Candy and, Taj are doing a song together because it's a different type of show. But the money, I said, let them discuss the money, let the managers figure out the money. If you want a certain amount of money for the show, it's one thing. But headlining, just saying, if let's say I did a tour with someone. And look, I have 250,000 subscribers and they got 25. Of course I should be the headliner. just it's a little different because my numbers match up. But if we're going to talk about numbers, SWV's numbers are bigger of people who are listening to their music. Kenya says, Keandra. Keandre? Oh, okay, look. I'm sorry. Says they didn't even have it. They had a manager, but they just didn't have that manager there because they want to revisit their management. All right. Princess Di says, Kempire, this is what Candy is talking about, top billing. That's what everyone's missing. I'm not missing it. I literally said it. I'm not missing it. And this is why I'm saying you can set a precedent as the first to do this, because promoters could understand if you're co-headlining, you can negotiate what you want to negotiate. And I feel like this is where they could have set SWV up for when they negotiate their other deals. Because Xscape could still make more money than SWV on this tour and still co-headline. That's not impossible. I know it's never been done before, allegedly, but you can do it now. I'm just saying, everybody's out for self, and this is part of the reason why a lot of these folks don't advance. Just saying. That's just my thought on it. Can we be done with it? Of course, it comes up again next week. All right. Let me drop the call and link for the general audience, guys. I am going to put a timer on. I'm going to be putting a timer on. I'm going to give 2 minutes. I'm going to give 2 minutes to our members, and everyone else is getting a minute. Sorry. I got things to do today. I ain't got time to be sitting around. y'all waiting on more content from me. All right. Okay. Let me take a sip. Hold on, wait. I want to see this comment. Forever Tanidra TV says, I know you want to be paid for your talent, but sometimes money needs to be second and just do the right thing. None of these ladies are hurting for money, especially Candy and Tiny. But I get it. You want to be paid. But like I said, the money aspect could be one thing and top billing could be a whole other thing. Just my personal thoughts on it. And I know what people say, oh, well, no, if someone's top billing, that's not how it works. And that's not how no, you can set a new precedent. Just saying. Set a new precedent. All right. I'm moving on. Look, I'm done talking. I'm tired of talking about it. Hold on. Let me just get the super chat. Hold on. Did I get this? Asha, thank you so much for the super chat. Asha says, I listen to artists I wouldn't pay to see live though. Okay. I don't know if that's a common thing though. I mean, I'm sure there are artists that people listen to that they wouldn't go see live, but okay. Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. Sean says, my understanding is that this was to be a one-time cabaret style show with the girls mixing and interacting between the groups. Yeah. So there is that part, and Candy did say on her speak on it that she would be open to doing the one show and co-headline, but if they were to do a tour, they wouldn't want to do that. Okay. All right. I did drop the link in the general audience. I will drop it again in just a second, but I see a lot of people caught it already, so I might not have to. All right. I am going to put a timer up. I'm going to bring In My Opinion up first. Hold on. Let me switch out. First of all, again, callers, short and shady, but also no cursing, no derogatory comments, or you're going to get cut off and banned. Just saying. All right. Let's bring up, hold on. Before I bring you up, In My Opinion, let me just put my thing up. There we go. All right. In My Opinion, hold on. Hey, In My Opinion, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how are you doing today?
Oh, well, how are you?
You know I'm blessed by the best. Let me tell you, don't why you do that every time I'm finna get ready to get on here. You give your
No,
disclaimer.
no, I have to do that for everyone.
No, I'm just playing with you. Okay. So let me tell you something. Okay, first of all, I'm not finna talk about the money thing because yeah, that's not my arena. But I do have an opinion on this mama.
Oh.
Okay, so let me tell you something. I've been, I'm nosy, so I've been strolling and strolling through everybody, little life on
Mhm.
Instagram and everything, the TikTok and all that. And I noticed Tamika has a really good relationship with her dad, like even from him having the heart surgery
Oh.
in December. But nowhere in the midst is Tasha ever there.
Mm.
So I think the mama is taking it out on her because she's closer to her dad.
Mm.
And we can't do that with our kids because our kids shouldn't be in the parent stuff because they didn't pick their parents. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
still your kids. You cannot side with your kids for what they choose to do. They should be able to have a relationship with both parents.
Mhm.
Like, don't set up your children for discomfort in their life because I feel like she's went through a lot. And her going through therapy, her breaking down in front of her mama and saying, look, you've always showed favoritism. I've always tried to get your attention, and I can't. For a woman to talk to her mom and not be able to get that love from their mom,
Yeah.
that's hard.
Yeah.
And you could tell in that moment she put her hands in her head, her hands in her head and everything, and she was like, I just need you to see me. And that
Yeah.
mama was still trying to be combative. And then the little fake hug she gave her, it didn't feel like genuine. It didn't feel sincere. I didn't feel like love. I just wanted to reach through the TV screen and let her know that she needed more than just what, her mama was giving her. And I'm praying for her success. You stay blessed. I'm finna get ready to cook these pork chops. And I'll talk to you later.
Take care. Thanks in my opinion. All right, we're gonna move on to Alex next. What's going on, Alex?
Hey, how are
I'm
you?
well. How are
So I
you?
wanted to talk about a couple things, so I'm gonna kind of skip around a little bit.
Okay.
So you gotta join in with me. All right. So first, I wanted to talk about Coco and her husband, her kid, Jalen,
Hmm.
I think. So I'm gonna use the Bible for this, and I'm gonna use it in the way it's intended to be used. Unlike Miss Listen to My Righteousness, Gloria, we're gonna use it. Your face, I can't. Okay. The prude one sees the danger and conceals himself, and the stupid one goes right on walking and suffers consequences. So Jalen, I love that he's passionate about it, but he's got to set himself up by going to school just in case anything happens, because you never know what will happen. So he's got to set himself up for success. I love his voice, and he seems like such a good kid. You could tell. I feel like I don't know. I just want the best for him and his family, his whole family. I like them a lot. Now, I really felt bad for Tamika when she was talking to Miss Gloria. You could see she seemed tired. She just seemed tired. She had her eyes closed and she was just crying. She seemed so tired and she felt like she was just done. To me, it looks like she was checked out a little bit.
Mm.
And she finally put her foot down, which was good for her and good for all of us to see her put her foot down to her
Yeah.
mama because that was so wrong. And yeah, I think that's all I want. Oh yeah, and SWV and Xscape. I hate when people try to like compare the two, because listen, some people are gonna like Xscape, some people are gonna like SWV, some are gonna like both. We don't need to compare the two, because every group that is successful for a reason, and
Mm.
every girl in that group is there for a reason. They all give something to that group.
Hmm.
They're all needed in a certain way. Maybe not Latasha, but you know what? Twerking on the fence there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But so I don't want to compare them, but listen, I feel like they should be equal, because there's not going to be a big fight when they're going to be equal. If they're equal, they're both co, it's equal. And there's no fight in there.
Hmm.
So thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Hold on, y'all. All right. Let's bring up next Nicole. Nicole, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire Jefferson, how are you doing?
Not Kempire Jefferson. What's going on?
I'm doing well. I just want to tap into that. You must have went to the Sunday service yesterday, because you've been preaching like everything that you were saying. I agree with it. I want to get into it, Miss Gloria. This is what, we were talking about, like the triggering with Black communities, especially with Black mothers. Now I get why my mom used to say to me all the time with her siblings, because thank you, Jesus, I'm my only child. But she used to say to me growing up, she said, mamas like their daughters, but love their sons. And it goes into what Black mothers, what they're doing. Like, you got to find that way to talk to your children and, and drop your traumatizations and look at that child. So that's why I think it's so heartbreaking and so heart-wrenching for us to see it as viewers, because we've all gone through that. Because when it comes to daughter and mother relationships, that is the most complex situation. And I'm thankful that I have a mother that I'm close with, but I had to tell her at 76 years old, like, you got to listen, admit when you're wrong, apologize. And then tipping over to Coco and Jalen's son, I love them both. I love the whole dynamic. I would love to see, like, I remember you were saying this before, and I agree with you. This was a few episodes ago. You were talking about you would love to have, like, see the relationship between the grandmother and him, like what made her, like you could see she really authentically loves her child and she's not judging, especially coming from a very religious background, because I have gay male friends and I know, and I know that you're openly as well. And I know what you guys have gone through in this community, Stop with the Zeus stuff. Every time I think of that, I'm thinking of the Greek Zeus, like the thunder. But I just wanted to put that out there. And then also, did you catch on to what Candy had said with Taj? Candy had said, Candy is all about her money because she even still buys lottery tickets till this day. I'm like, girl, this is why I can't win the lottery, because you're probably up there buying like $20,000 worth of tickets.
I did notice that. She probably when the Powerball was like $1 billion.
She wants money everywhere, but that's all I wanted to say. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicole. Take care. I mean, she is about her money. And I think at the end of the day, when she was talking to SWV, she was headlining means money. We understand that. For those that may have missed it, and I get it, you hear what you want to hear. I understand it means money. However, we can set a new precedent here, and you can still make your money and what you asked for your show and co-headline. You can just make that agreement off top. But if you're doing this sort of, like someone said, a cabaret-esque type of show where everyone's it's a different type of tour. It's not your typical Xscape tour or SWV tour. People are singing together. The money's got to be changed because it's a different type of tour. Doesn't mean that Xscape won't make more still, but just saying. All right. Let me say thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Wendy, thank you so much for the super chat. Wendy says, on TikTok, Tocha has one of her videos promoting her album. Tocha was getting dragged. I saw it, Wendy. I literally saw, I was swiping. I was like, oh, let me listen to the song. And then I went to the comment section. I was like, oh, let me see how they're receiving her music. This is not a good look for her gospel project. This show is, she thinks it's a good look because millions of people are watching it, but it's not a good look. Unique, thank you so much for the super chat. Unique says, honestly, Candy is writing them all a check just by being there. And Lelee really needs a check. Oh, come on, Unique, come on. Oh, Lord. All right, and someone told me, shout out to all you people that were in Candy's live chat yesterday. Like, oh, I don't know why Candy's highlighting Kempire because he drags her, and I will drag her again. God forbid, like she has something to drag her about. Like no one's free from a dragation. Look, including my own family. Okay, look, and you think Candy doesn't know? Candy knew about my interview with Latasha years ago. That's probably why she never interviewed with me originally. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Okay, let's get some more callers. All right, Miss Bernice, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Miss Bernice?
Hey, what up, though? What up, though?
What's going on?
You know, I love it when you play that. It's me? Okay. Ooh, okay. I'm eating up my minutes. Let me get to it. The mother. Everybody need to go back and look at Boys in the Hood. and see the relationship the mother had with Doughboy and Ricky. It all went back to their father. She despised Doughboy's father, so Doughboy couldn't do nothing good in her eyes. She adored Ricky's father, so Ricky was the angel, and she did everything for him. That's the mother.
Yeah.
She still ain't got over the marriage that's been over 40-something years. And Tamika looked just like her father. Tamika adores her father. Your relationship with the parents shouldn't change because they're divorced now. As long as there was no abuse in it, you're going to love your parents. My parents got divorced. My dad moved in the next block. I saw my dad on a regular basis. My mother never said anything bad about my father. My father never said anything bad about my mother. They just didn't work it out together, but they still loved each other. And for her to break down and say, "You don't see me," and the only reason that lady hugged her daughter is because when she said, "I'm gonna pull back," and she said, "Damn, that means she's gonna cut off my money. Let me hug her." That's the only reason that lady hugged that child, because she said she's gonna step back. I can't take this anymore. You still my mama and I love you, but I can't, I'm gonna step back. And she said, "Oh damn, okay," because that wasn't a sincere hug. No, no. I see you, Gloria. I see you.
Perfect timing.
Okay, got my 2 minutes in. Okay.
Thanks, Ms. Bernice. Take care.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Excuse me. All right. We're going to bring up Rasani next. Hold on. What's going on, Rasani?
Hey, Kemp. How's it going?
Not bad. How are you?
Before you start my timer.
I already started your timer. What? Did you try to get more time? What?
No. This is serious, though. When I was watching Candy speak on it, right? The second and the third episode, Candy, I know you're watching. I see a lump on your neck on the left side, close to that vein that sticks out when we get angry. I see a lump there. I don't know. Maybe you need to go and check it out, because I can't recall if I've ever seen it before on her.
Yeah.
But in her speak on it, I've noticed it the last 2 episodes. So if you haven't done it yet, you should go check it out just in case.
Okay.
Now, on to my dragation. Sorry.
No, that's important. Okay.
So I went back and I watched the SWV kicking it, right? Xscape kicking it.
Yeah.
Too much of them, sorry. The Xscape kicking it, the 4 episodes. And in those 4 episodes, Latasha was like, the cheerleader, woo, woo, we want to get back together. And Candy was kind of like hesitant because, yada, 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 yada. And she and Tamika had that beef, the radio interview, yada, yada, yada. Now, if you watch that and come fast forward 6 years later, and how Latasha is just like, oh, I'm over it, this, that, blah, 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 blah. So I can see where Candy, and even though Tiny kind of says it a little bit, but not really, but Candy's the most vocal one, I see the pattern seems to line up. But Latasha, this is a PSA for you. And for all, the Cocos, and who was that lead in En Vogue? And it doesn't work.
All of them were leads.
No, but the one that wanted to break out to be the solo artist. This is the way how, if you're in a group, this is the way how solo artists works. Axl Rose can go out and from Guns N' Roses and do his own thing, because he's known outside. Adam Levine, he's part of Maroon 5. Nobody else knows anybody else in Maroon 5. They just know Adam Levine. Beyonce, Bobby Brown, Justin Timberlake. These are all names people know outside of. That's why they were able to go on and or those that can go out and do a successful solo career. Nobody knows you, Latasha, like that. It's just Xscape. And I wish your gospel thing well, but you're not coming off well, sis. Sorry. And the mama is not. I felt for Tamika. I mean, I teared up for her in that moment. I could feel her pain from, what she's been through. But that's it. I'll talk to you later.
Thank
Bye.
you, Rasani. Take care. All right. And our final member. Oh, wait, no, I see somebody in the back that's a member. Really? Late. Judgy Justice, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Judgy Justice?
Hey.
Hey.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. So, my thoughts were I really like this episode. I'm really liking this show. I think also since they came off of the dark season that we had at RHOP, I think that's why I'm liking it a little bit better. Just because even though there is like a little bit, drama in this, but it's not that dark. I mean, stealing $30,000 from your sister. That's
I mean, it happens every day.
Me and my sister, we 50 years old and now we gonna have to squabble real quick. We're gonna have to fight. But I really do enjoy them. I really think it's a breath of fresh air. I do agree with the fact that they did have something great here that they could have done, because just like how they're doing the show, they're headlining the show, they could have done the same thing on tour. And also I don't feel like Tiny and Candy, they're not missing any bags. Let them have their fun, because like again, you guys are going to go off to other projects. You guys have all these different business ventures that you're in. Let them at least get started. That's the least you guys could do, because people are going to buy a ticket for, it's 50-50 chance they're buying a ticket for you or SWV. And I'm buying a ticket, I'm seeing SWV though. Well, thank you. I'm quick and I'm short.
Thank
Bye.
you. Take care. All right. All right. Not okay. Paid by Candy's on the line. What's your real name?
Yes, and I'm in the office today. That's why I was late. So leave me alone.
Okay. Thoughts. Let me start timing. Your time has started.
Okay. So listen, I'm on my way to In My Opinion's house because I want some pork chops. That's the first thing. And okay, I love Jalen's adorable, but I'm with you. Get the education. It's something to fall back on. We don't, and I put in the comments, we don't want him like his auntie Lelee having to sleep in a car at the baseball stadium. So let's have something to fall back on. And your education is the one thing as a Black man no one can ever take from you. Get your education, Jalen. No one will ever be able to take that from you, and you'll have it. You'll get your mamas off your back, and you'll make her happy. Speaking of mamas, let's go on to Tamika and Tasha, because that's like the talk of discussion. Here's my first question. I wonder if they have the same dad. I haven't been able to pick that up yet.
Yes, I believe they do.
Okay, so with that being said, the fact that it's everything. He left them behind. The mother had to go get a job, because remember she said she was a stay-at-home mom, and the dad left them. So she done took everything. She done took the eggplant. She done took the money. She done took everything. Now I got to go get a job. And she's probably still single, so she's a little bitter and upset about that.
No, look at her. She has I don't know if I can see it in this picture, but she married. Look, or maybe she never took her ring off, but she's married. I thought the same thing. I was like, wait, no, I see a wedding ring. Go ahead.
So if she's married, then her current husband needs to say something, because the anger that she has towards her daughter over her daddy that left her with no eggplant and no money, she's upset about that. And her new husband needs to put the eggplant down and get her off the old eggplant, because something has not happened. She's missing something. It's old school mama mentality, yes, with the lack of apology, the horrible hug, and we all got mommy issues that have mothers of that age demographic. But she's missing something else that a lot of our mothers our daddies have died. I am one. Hello. I have mommy issues because my dad passed away and left me here with her, and my mom needed eggplant. And a lot of them need some eggplant, and I'll see you later.
Goodbye. Your mother's gonna get you. All right. All right, Miss Esquire's backstage. We're gonna bring her up next. What's going on, Miss Esquire?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing really good. Okay, at the end of my 2 minutes, I have an update for you on Juan Dixon's lawsuit. So give me like a little bit of extra time.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing I will say about Jalen. I think he's a Generation Z. I get it. Like, they see all of this entrepreneurial stuff from social media. I really want him to take, though, the millennial cautionary tale. Like, my generation really tried to like go against the grain in terms of corporate America. And it's fine if you want to do that, but I know so many of my friends who can't afford to buy a home, don't have any retirement, are now having to enter the corporate workspace for benefits and things like that, and don't have that track record, even though they're, pushing their 40s. And so I just would say dentistry is an amazing profession, and I do think he can be the sanguinest dentist there ever was. On to this split, because I am going to talk about it. I don't know anything about the music business, but I do know a lot about making deals. And what I know is that the intention comes first, not the deal terms. And what I saw in that conversation was y'all have not really come to an agreement on what the intention of this project is in this time together. And so you're trying to set these deal terms and they don't align with people's intentions. And you can't do it that way. And I think, unfortunately, they think they have a rarity mindset, but I think they actually have a scarcity mindset. And so, because I think they think, oh, we're a rare thing. We don't go out very much. We're kind of, elusive. And so there's going to be a big draw for us. And I think y'all have a scarcity mindset. And I think the money grab is a part of that scarcity mindset. SWV does not have that. And I just think if the intention is for us to create a show where there's a greater division of labor between the acts and the artists, you absolutely should have a conversation, not even just optically, because I get your point optically about who is the headliner, but also from a business perspective. And I think if Xscape could step out of that scarcity mindset, and I will say specifically Candy, I think she really has a scarcity mindset when it comes to business. So, and a lot of people think she's a great businesswoman. I think she's an aggressive businesswoman. She's a very great creative, but I do think she has a scarcity mindset in this conversation. Last thing I wanted to tell you about Juan Dexon is, even though he was fired from Compensate, he has not gotten his own counsel. His counsel is still the person who represents the state of Maryland and Compensate, which tells me they, at least right now, are still defending him as acting within the scope of his employment. If we see him get his own counsel, that'll be a sign to me that they're going to be pointing the fingers at him. Compensate is. And then the last thing I want to tell you is on the 16th, a order for mediation was entered. And so that does mean the parties are going to mediation at some point. So we may see some news about that. But that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Miss Esquire.
Bye.
Bye. I always love Miss Esquire. I love all of your opinions. Even if I don't agree with you, I appreciate everyone giving a perspective, because I love to twerk on the fence. So every once in a while, I'm like, oh, wow, I never thought about it that way. And then y'all are like, oh, here he goes switching up on us, because I have every right to. Okay, I have no, whatever they call in this fight. Okay, all right. Let's get to the rest of the callers. So callers, I'm putting a minute up on these timers because I have to go. I have other stories that you guys want me to talk about and cover, like that Tamar situation. All right. Tanidra, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Tanidra? Tanidra, you're muted. Tanidra.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes. What's going on?
Sorry, I was on mute. I just want to say first and first, your dimples are dimpling today. Well, you got a hot day later, honey, because they are popping, okay?
Nope. Look, nope.
I just wanted to say, I'm not
Sorry, go ahead.
I just hate how money just always rips some of our better groups out of our hands. And I'm not even talking about SWV and Xscape. So many of our female woman groups all broke down over money, and I hate it. And I can't tell somebody to put money before the culture, but at this point, my whole childhood is ruined. And it's like I'm backstage, but this is the VIP pass I don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want the VIP pass where I'm taking pictures and I'm laughing with my favorite groups. I don't want to see them fighting and bickering amongst each other. That puts a sour taste in my mouth. Well, I don't want to see any of y'all. I don't want to give y'all any of my money. Either one of y'all. You get what I'm saying? Because, like, who am I rewarding for this behavior? Y'all fighting and can't be friends and fighting over money and arguing about who stole this. And then Latasha, she just seems so hardened. Like, I don't think I've ever seen her smile more than 10 times, like, any of the episodes. She just comes off so hardened and just... I don't know, but that's all I had to say. But
thank you, Tanidra.
I hope we stop fighting over money and just get it together, because we love y'all and we need y'all for the culture.
Agreed. Thank you, Tanidra.
Yeah, of course. You have a good day, love.
You too. Yeah, like, I don't want to tell someone to give up the whole money aspect of it, but I agree with Miss Esquire when she pointed out that people's intentions, and I was talking about intentions when we were talking about Latasha and her intention here. I agree with that. And I think that's what messes up a lot of people when it comes to business. And unfortunately, a lot of those people look like you and me. Anyways. All right, Crystal, I'm going to bring you up next. Hold on, let me get the timer up. What's going on, Crystal?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Happy day.
You too.
Really quick, I really do agree with you about seeing the bigger picture. My only thing is, I don't understand how this wasn't discussed prior to the cameras rolling. Because everybody knows, obviously, the show started for a reason. So they had to have it in their mind that they were going to do a show, or that they were going to do a concert or a series of some sort. So it's not like all of a sudden they were following both groups around and they decided to do this. And that's why I have a bad feeling about it, because it's like SWV looked like they had been blindsided. And that's what I didn't like. I don't understand, if you guys were talking about doing this, why wasn't that part discussed off camera? And because I feel like it's not something that should be discussed to the bigger crowds of us as a public, because we do need to see that unity. This infighting is just not okay. We have, New Edition is on a stadium tour with Keith Sweat and Guy. You know what I mean? That is what you guys could be doing, and it's not. It's unfortunate that they're going to miss that opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're all not getting paid the same.
They're not, and that's what also, like, they could just do a percentage. Each person gets paid a certain percentage, the same way every person in the group is not paid evenly, and we all know that. We all know
that. Thanks, Crystal.
Thank you.
Bye. This is what I love when you guys call. You guys are hilarious. All right, Classy Lady, I'm gonna bring you up next. What's going on, Classy Lady?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't understand what, like, Xscape doesn't know if they're going to be a group or not, and Tasha doesn't want to do the concert, but you want top billing. So I'm like, your whole house is not in order, but you want top billing. You can't have a meeting more than for 5 minutes because someone's going to walk out, but you want top billing. So it just an observational look. I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, at least SWV seems to be very cohesive with what they want to do. They're like, let's get this done. We've already wasted 2 meetings already. We live in different cities. And it's like, I was feeling like Lelee, like, this is some stupid mess, because this is the 3rd meeting I came to, and y'all don't know what you want to do. So I'm with her.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Classy Lady. Take care.
Okay.
Oh, bye. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are talking about the new SWV and Xscape reality show, the Queens of R&B. If you're part of the replay crew, as always, let me know where you're watching from. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this whole conversation. And I agree with what one of the callers just said, is that now this conversation, although I do like that they're having this conversation on the reality show, but I also feel like it's separating fans. And that's never a good look either. Okay? But anyways, but this is reality TV. You want real? This is real. Okay. Allie, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Allie?
Oh my gosh, Kemp, I am so happy to be here. Oh my gosh, I love you so much, my Jamaican brother.
Yes, wagwan.
Wagwan. All right, so real quick. So first thing is Rocky. I had such an issue with him coming to the studio talking about, come on, anime, and like, it was not cute. It was very concerning, especially when he forced himself into the booth and said, oh, let me get on the mic. And she's like, you really want to go? And he's like, yeah, I actually do. And he was very serious about it. It's like, made me side eye him, because I'm like, just looking at his intentions further, like him using his wife and all of that stuff. Second, so last week in Funky Dineva's recap of the episode, he said that 9 out of 10 times when a parent seemingly has an unexplained dislike for a child, it's usually not about the child. It's about what they represent or who they represent. This episode sealed that, because it showed that it's their father. It's because she's punishing her because she's so close to her father. She reminds her of her father, and it's very sad. It's very sad. The last thing is that this episode, and this makes me very sad just about the top billing thing, this episode, and I hate to say this, can I just finish this?
Yeah.
Okay, it showed that Candy, it seems like Candy is very afflicted by greed. Like, the largest thing, of course, the most obvious thing we saw was with the whole billing issue, which just sowed this discord, and of course it's putting the money over the meaning and the culture and all of the importance behind it. But we also saw, like, just a small thing, like the ticket for the $1 billion lottery thing. It's like, we all know and love and respect Candy, because she's an amazing businesswoman. She's garnered so much over her years, and she's has a lot of money. It's like, Candy, it's fine. It's fine to just be like, okay, sometimes I'll just do this thing. And it made me side eye her, and I didn't like that. But that's it. I love you so much. I hope I get to come back.
Yes. Thank you, Allie, for calling in. All right. All right. And last and definitely not least, we're going to bring up Kathy next. What's going on, Kathy?
Hi, Kempire.
How are you?
I'm finding you.
Pretty
So I'm going to
good.
make it quick. I think Tamika's mom
Mm-hmm.
was putting on for the cameras. I think it was all a Band-Aid.
Oh.
Her eyes, it didn't seem genuine. She just wanted to get it over with so she can regain her image, so she can look good. I didn't like it.
Wow.
Also, Candy ego is too big. I went to an SK concert in 2017 and I walked out. The stars of that show, was Tamar and Monica. They tore the stage down. And Tamar mentioned that in her video about their issues started with the concert. And I believe it. Candy needs to take a back seat. SWV are stars and they have hits after hits. And people sample them. So I don't know.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Kathy, for calling in.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Well, well, everyone's going to have a difference of opinion when they go to someone's show. Look, I didn't go to the show, so I don't know. Okay? I don't know what the show was like. However, look, replay crew, live chat, let me know your thoughts on that. I don't know. Again, speaking of Tamar, I will do a separate video because I have a lot to unpack in regards to that. Like the caller Kathy just said, she did a video earlier. So I have to unpack that, and I will be doing that in a video. So stay tuned. If you don't want to miss out on anything, subscribe. I know tons of you watch the videos, but you don't subscribe. But then you miss out on video content, like my shorts and things like that. So be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like this video if you haven't liked it already. Let me just make sure that I got all of your super chats. I apologize if I missed them, but I'm trying. Look, let me just make sure. I think I got all of them. I think I did. Yay for us. Look, yay for us. Oh, okay. Thank you guys so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for those of you that send Cash App, Venmos, PayPals, all of that really great stuff. And thank you for all of you that support on other platforms. So be sure to follow us. TikTok, again, be sure to follow us on all the platforms. God forbid, because they're talking about TikTok being shut down. So if you don't want to miss out on your pop culture news, or when we do reality TV watch parties or things like this, be sure to follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, because I give you a whole different experience on Twitter, y'all. That's where Kempire After Dark exists. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here, as always, with some music. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to our members of the channel. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And for everything Kempire, that, like I just mentioned, please head on over to TheKempire.com for our merch, our social media, all of that. And our podcast. A new episode of the podcast came out yesterday. No, not yesterday, Friday. Oh, where am I? Thank you to our King's Guards, aka our moderators. We could not do this without them, so be sure to thank them for being here. We have been live for what? 2 hours. Oh my God. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. I'm the problem. I talk too long, but
I am the fifth member. How about that?
we're gonna get out of here, guys. Don't forget to like the video. It's the last way that you can support the channel. Thank you all for being here. I will see you next week, same time, same place, for our recap of SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B. But tomorrow we will be live for our Tuesday takeover, talking about 90 Day Fiance, Queen's Court, Love and Marriage DC, Below Deck, and some pop culture news as well. See you tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. PST, 11:30 a.m. Central. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for everyone that called in. Thank you. I think I said thank you enough. Yeah, okay. Let's get out of here, y'all. Oh, I haven't played this in a while.
You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I know. I just want you. Something you and me, oh. both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, You both got my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I just want you to know something you and me, You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, You both got my best life, yeah.
I want to say I love the way that everybody received my receipts from last week's episode of Speak On It.
And Candy went through all the albums and was just like, girl. And I've seen clips of them performing without Latasha, and I have to say, it's still entertaining. I've moved on. Sorry, Latasha. You gotta deal with Motown Gospel.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse.